Hey, thought leaders. This is the personalbranding.com podcast, and I'm your host, Dillon Kivo. Join us to learn how to build a legacy, boost your reputation, and make a lasting impact. Let's dive in. Hey, welcome back to the personalbranding.com podcast. My name is Dillon Kivo, and I'm your host. Today, I want to talk directly to my personal injury lawyers out there. If you're a PI attorney and you've been grinding, running ads, buying leads, maybe doing some SEO, but you still feel like you're just blending in with every other firm in your market, this episode is just for you. I'm going to be breaking down why getting published in the news is the single most powerful thing you can do for your practice right now, and why most of your competitors will never do it, which, by the way, is exactly why you should do it. All right, let's get into it. So here's the reality. If you're a PI lawyer, you are in one of the most competitive legal markets in this country. Every city, every metro area is absolutely saturated with PI injury firms running the same exact playbook. You've got the billboard, you've got the TV spot, you've got the Google ads going for you, and guess what? So does the firm down the street. And the one across town, they're doing the same thing. And the one 2 states over that's buying leads in your zip code, same thing. So when a potential client is sitting there at 2 a.m. and they just got rear-ended and their neck hurts and they're Googling best personal injury lawyers near me, what makes them pick you over the other 15 attorneys that pop up? Right now, most of you, the honest answer is probably nothing. There's no real differentiator, right? You're competing on ad spend, not authority. And that is an expensive, exhausting race to the bottom. But here's what changes the game. When that same person Googles your name, and they will Google your name, and they see that you've been featured in Forbes, Yahoo, MSN, USA Today, or quoted in local news outlets, or published in expert articles on injury law in a major publication, that changes everything. That's not an ad, that's proof. That's credibility you can't buy with a bigger media ad budget, right? Let me explain what I mean by earned media and why it matters so much more than paid advertising for building your brand. Earned media is when a journalist, a news outlet, or a major publication features you, not because you paid for a placement, but because you're positioned as an authority worth quoting. It's a third party. It's essentially vouching for your expertise, right? Think about it from the client's perspective. If they see your ad, they know you paid for it. Everyone knows that. But if they see you've been quoted in the news giving expert commentary on a big verdict or explaining changes in injury law or weighing in on a local accident, that's completely different. That is someone else saying, this person knows what they're talking about, and that's you. And here's the compounding effect that most lawyers don't realize. Most media placements, they live on the internet forever. They boost your SEO, they show up when people search your name, they give you content to share on social media, to put on your website, to reference in consultations. One feature in the right publication can generate trust and leads for years. Compare that to a Google ad that stops working the second you stop paying for it. I've seen this firsthand working with professionals across industries. The ones who invest in earned media and PR as a part of their personal brand don't just get more clients, they get better clients. Clients who they come in, they already know who you are, they feel like they can trust you. Clients who aren't really just price shopping for 5 other firms. That is the power of authority. Now you might be thinking, okay, Dillon, that sounds great, but I'm a lawyer, not an influencer. Why would a news outlet want to feature me? And that's actually the best part. PI law is inherently newsworthy. Think about what you deal with every single day. Car accidents, trucking accidents, MVAs, workplace injuries, product liability, medical malpractice, slip and falls. These things are in the news every day. Every local news station, right? Every online outlet, they're covering these stories already every single week. And you know what those journalists need? They need an expert to quote. They need someone who can explain the legal implications, break it down, what a victim's rights are, talk about what a fair settlement looks like. That expert should be you. But most PI lawyers never position themselves as the go-to trusted source. They're too busy running their practice to think about a media strategy, which means the opportunity is wide open. Here's another angle. Referral attorneys, right? The lawyers who send you cases, they pay attention to this stuff. When they see you getting featured in publications, getting quoted in the news, showing up as a thought leader, that makes them more confident that they can send you cases your way. It signals that you're credible, you're established, and you're serious about your practice. Media placements don't just attract clients directly, they strengthen your entire referral network. And let's talk about jury perception for a second. In a world where jurors are Googling attorneys, during trial breaks, and yes, that does happen. Do you want them to find, bare bones, a website and some paid ads, a couple of reviews, or do you want them to find the news that features published articles and a track record of thought leadership? That kind of presence doesn't just help you sign cases, it helps you earn trust in every aspect of law. So if this is so powerful, why aren't more PR lawyers doing it? I'll tell you 3 things that I hear most often. Number 1, I don't have time. And I get it. You're running depositions, you're in court, you're managing a caseload. The last thing you want to do is figure out how to pitch yourself to journalists. And honestly, you shouldn't have to. And that's what a team is for. That's what a PR and branding strategy is for. You don't do your own accounting. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to own PR either. The second thing I hear most often is I don't even know what to say. Trust me, you have more to say than you think. Every case you've handled, every client you've helped, every trend you've noticed in your practice area, that's all content. That's all newsworthy. You just need someone to help you package it and get it in front of the right people. And the third thing that I hear is it seems expensive. Ask yourself this: what is one single great case worth for your firm? Is it 10,000, 50,000, 100,000? Now compare that to the cost of positioning yourself as the go-to authority in your market, the kind of positioning that brings those cases to you instead of you having to chase them down. It's not really in its expense. It could be the highest ROI investment you can make in your practice. It could be. So let me give you some practical steps to start moving in that direction. First, define your niche within PI law. Are you the trucking accident guys? Are you the MVA attorney, slip and falls, children's stuff, wrongful death attorney who fights for families? The more specific you get, the easier it is to position yourself as the expert. And the easier it is for journalists to find you when they need a source on that exact same topic. And the second thing I'd recommend is start building a content foundation. Write a few articles, record some short videos breaking down common questions your clients are asking you. Post constantly on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Meta. This doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be consistent. When a journalist or a potential client looks you up, you want there to be substance, right? And the third thing, and this is where it really accelerates, is invest in a PR and personal branding strategy that gets you placed in real publications. And that's exactly what we do here at personalbranding.com. We help lawyers build authority, driven personal brands through strategic media placements and content strategy. It's full-scale brand positioning. And if you're a PI lawyer who's ready to stop competing on an ad spend budget and start competing on authority, I'd love to talk to you. Head over to personalbranding.com and check out what we have to offer. And yeah, I'd love to talk to you. All right, that's the episode. If you got value from this, share it with another PI lawyer that you know that needs to hear this. Subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening and leave a review if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate that. And remember, your personal brand is the one asset that outlasts any ad campaign, any algorithm, and any market shift. Invest in it. I'm Dillon Kivo, and this is the personalbranding.com podcast, and I'll catch you on the next episode. God bless. Thanks for tuning in. I'd love to hear from all of you. Follow and connect with me on all of your favorite social media platforms at Dillon Kivo, DILLONKI, V as in Victor, O. And until next time, keep building your brand and stay golden.